It's Christmas again this year. Everyone's filled with the season's good cheer. This is my Christmas love song to you, for your holiday spirit.
Hello, welcome to Radio Bravery Live. And here at Radio Bravery, it's not the presents under the tree, it's you that makes our holidays what it is. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Radio Bravery Live. I'm your host, Justin Belshaw. We've got Eva Cassidy bringing us in, one of my personal favorite Christmas songs of the year.
It's your presents right here next to me. Gifts wrapped with ribbons don't mean a thing. My greatest gift is I wear your ring, to see in your eyes and what's in your heart. That's to know we'll never be apart.
Merry Christmas. That's Eva Cassidy bringing us in. What a beautiful song, beautiful voice, and Merry Christmas to you. It's a beautiful holiday season. That's It's Not the Presents Under the Tree. I'm going to be playing that one a lot before Christmas is over, because it took me a while to find it, and I sure love it. Thank you so much for joining me on this holiday Merry Christmas edition of Radio Bravery Live. We are live at youtube.com/RadioBravery, and I've got to get to the day job soon, try to scrounge up a livelihood here, and so let's get to the news as soon as we can. First article was a little troubling. I heard this yesterday from another podcaster from Chicago, or a talk radio host from Chicago. This is from the ChicagoTribune.com. Bring in UN troops to solve Chicago genocide. Wow. This is incredible. It is unconstitutional to have foreign soldiers on U.S. troops. That's posse comitatus. President Donald Trump's implicit threat to put the National Guard on the streets of Chicago to tackle the city's violence problem attracted widespread ridicule earlier this year, although the National Guard would be exactly what you should put in Chicago, not United Nations blue helmets. But we've all seen Red Dawn. Yeah, that's when the UN invades through China. But here we go. But if soldiers were instead wearing the sky blue helmets of the United Nations peacekeepers, there might not be such a problem, according to Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykin, the clearly unconstitutional commissioner, who flew into New York on Thursday to discuss what he described as a quiet genocide from gun violence. Oh, really? The city that banned handguns, the city that banned numerous guns all over the city so people couldn't protect themselves, is now having a quiet genocide from gun violence. Weird. Very interesting. Yeah, folks, that's the way it works when you take away people's guns and right to protect themselves. I don't know how you can't read the writing on the wall here, but this is the way it works. Hitler took the guns, Stalin took the guns, Mao took the guns, Hugo Chavez took the guns. Those are all collapsed societies. Do you not read between the lines? The first step to closing down an open and free society is taking away the guns. That's why Chicago is absolutely a hellhole. It was rated by the FBI the most violent city in the entire world for numerous years. I'm not sure exactly where it stands now, but I'm sure it's in the top 5. The United Nations has a track record of protecting minority populations, Boykin told Inc. I don't know what that is, but anyhow, quote, there was a tribal warfare between the Tutsis and the Hutus in Africa, and they developed peacekeeping troops there to help save those populations and reduce the bloodshed. We have to do something. Black people in Chicago make up 30% of the population, but 80% of those who are killed by gun violence. Asked how it might differ from sending in the National Guard, Boykin said, the difference is I'm not so sure that the National Guard is so used to peacekeeping and the peacekeeping role. The UN is trained in this. Yeah, the UN is trained in that in other countries, not in the United States of America. You'd welcome foreign troops on the streets of Austin, North Lawndale, Inglewood, and Roseland, Commissioner, ? Quote, I'm talking about whoever the UN would decide to send in. Boykin responded, adding, I think that the Assistant Secretary General may have some ideas outside of sending in the troops. He may have some ideas about how we get peace in these communities. Yeah, how about, like Donald Trump said, send in the National Guard, our own citizens who can help police, because or how about maybe contracting police from other states and cities that aren't total dumbasses who can't. I mean, I don't know why the police can't take control of this. They need to get out on the streets and start doing another job, or start doing their job. Hire more police. Do your job. Here in Portland, we don't have gun violence everywhere. I don't know why it's that hard. Oh, maybe the citizens need to protect themselves. Maybe arm your citizens so they aren't just sitting ducks, lemmings, waiting to be shot and killed. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we'll continue to cover that as it develops there in Chicago. But Philadelphia City Council approves bill to remove racist bulletproof glass from storefronts. Wow. The Philadelphia City Council voted Thursday to remove bulletproof glass from the windows of some local businesses despite a backlash from shop owners. Yeah, they're going to remove bulletproof glass because that is now racist also. Everything's racist under political correctness. The council voted 14-3 to approve legislation that could eventually force business owners to remove the protective glass from outside their storefronts that some lawmakers believe operate as drug fronts and facilitate loitering and public urination, Fox 29 reported. The approved bill, according to Philly.com, instructs the city's Department of Licenses and Inspections by January 1st, 2021, promulgate regulations to provide for the use or removal of any physical bearer in stores that sell food and alcohol. We now live in a world where almost anyone and everyone can be labeled as racist. Some store owners in Philadelphia are the latest victims of the PC police. Cindy Bass, a councilwoman from the Philadelphia's 8th District, has filed a bill which would make store owners take down all plexiglass in certain areas of town. Wow, this is incredible. Incredible. You cannot protect yourselves even with plexiglass. Nope, not in stores because it is racist. This is not a story from The Onion, folks. This is from thetruepundit.com. Philadelphia City Council approves bill to remove racist bulletproof glass from storefronts. Absolutely incredible. Let's move to this next article from judicialwatch.org. Judicial Watch sues FBI for records about removal of former Deputy Assistant Director Peter Strzok from Mueller operation. Oh, Judicial Watch today filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the Federal Bureau of Investigation for records about the removal and reassignment of Peter Strzok. The dossier PP Gate connoisseur. Peter Strzok, a former deputy to the Assistant Director of Counterintelligence at the FBI from the Special Counsel's investigative team by former FBI Director Robert Mueller. Strzok also was the FBI's second-in-command for the counterintelligence and chief of investigation into the Hillary Clinton illicit email server. Interviewing Clinton himself, he also interviewed Paul Manafort and Michael Flynn. Just so happens this guy was involved in basically everything, and he was completely ensued with conflicts of interest. The lawsuit was filed in the United States District Court of Columbia after the FBI failed to respond to an August 17, 2017 FOIA request by Judicial Watch. They are requesting all records regarding the assignment of FBI Supervisor Peter Strzok to the Special Counsel's investigation led by former Director Robert Mueller, all records related to the reassignment of Peter Strzok from the Special Counsel's investigation to another position within the FBI, and all SF-50 and or SF-52 employment forms, as well as all related records of communication between any official, employee, or representative of the FBI or any individual or entity. So that is a very wise move on Judicial Watch's part. We will continue to wait because we have to sue over and over and over again to get the information that they bury and try to hide from the public. Now let's go to this article from thedailymail.com. We're kind of on a news blitz right now because I don't have too much time before I got to get out of here, but this is dailymail.com. Tax cut bill goes public as GOP slashes rates for wealthy, nixes Obamacare penalty, expands child tax credits, dramatically lowers corporate taxes, and opens up a new Alaska oil drilling. Lawmakers released the full text of the Republican leadership-backed tax cut Friday evening. The Senate is expected to vote Monday, and House is expected to vote Tuesday. Top income tax rates drops to 37% from 39.6%. Corporate tax rate slashed to 21% from 35%. That is an incredible move. That is going to bring hundreds of thousands of jobs back. The corporate tax rate slashed to 21% from 35%. That's incredible. Then we have estates worth up to $11.2 million shielded from federal taxes. Wow, that's incredible as well. State and local tax deduction capped at $10,000 in House bill. New York and California lawmakers railed against the elimination of SALT, S-A-L-T. Latest Senate version came in at a cost of $1.5 trillion over 10 years, which Rand Paul railed against that. He said he would never vote for anything that would add more to our deficit. Doubling of child tax credit and increase in standard education. White House says bill simplifies rigged and burdensome tax code. Yes, it sure does. So that is just a small gist of what the new tax bill has in it that they released last night. Then we have this article from CNBC.com. GOP releases its final tax plan. Here's what's in it. You can check out that as well. The proposal would maintain 7 individual tax income brackets at slightly different rates: 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, and 37%. And that is a giant leap forward for people in different brackets, so we are not all continually taxed the same thing when we don't even have the money to pay for it. So that is a incredible move that is really going to help, in my opinion. The bill would scrap the personal exemption but increase the standard deduction to slightly less than double its current level. It would go up to $12,000 for an individual or $24,000 for a family. Goes on to say it would drop the corporate tax rate from 21 to 35%. The plan would set a 20% business income deduction for the first $315,000 in income earned by pass-through businesses. The bill would scrap Obamacare's provision that requires most Americans to buy health insurance or pay a penalty beginning in 2019. Doing so is projected to lead to 13 million fewer people with insurance and raise the average Obamacare premiums, according to nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. But at the very least, it is not unconstitutional, and you don't have to unconstitutionally be forced to buy something you don't want to. So that is a giant step forward for freedom in our United States of America. I do not want to be forced to put my money somewhere where I don't want to. That is the freedom of our country. That's why I'm an American. The estate tax, or so-called death tax, would remain, but the exemption from it would be doubled. The child tax credit would double to $2,000 per child from $1,000. It would be refundable up to $1,400 and start to phase out at $400,000 in income. The tweak would end after 2025. It will not change the mortgage interest deduction for existing homeowners. Tax breaks for charitable contributions and retirement saving plans would remain. The bill would not include the controversial first in first out stock sales change would spark backlash in the investing community. So this is pretty interesting. We'll continue to cover that as it develops as well. Now let's go to CNNFakeNews.com. Trump lawyers special counsel meeting. This will be interesting. We've got Trump lawyers set for key meeting with special counsel next week. Roger Stone heard from a little birdie that the president's lawyers are telling him that they assure him that once they meet with Robert Mueller's team here in this next week, that they're going to be reassured that the investigation will be closed soon. But we'll see how that goes. Roger Stone doesn't believe it, and I don't either, but we'll see. So that's a CNN.com article, and we'll see what happens next week with that. Here's another one from judicialwatch.org. State Department made deal with Hillary Clinton to keep call log schedules secret. Oh, really? Very interesting. Judicial Watch obtained the reports about the records from a Freedom of Information Act, any and all DS 1904 authorization for the removal of personal pages and non-record materials, forms completed by or on behalf of any of the following individuals: Secretary Hillary Clinton, Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills, Deputy Chief of Staff Huma Abedin, and Deputy Chief of Staff Jacob Sullivan. The documents include a list of official and personal calls and schedules that Clinton removed, which carry a special notion that the documents were not to be made public record. The notation on the addendum to a DS 1904 signed by Clarence N. Finney Jr., then director of the Office of Correspondence and Records, who was the receiving officer. Judicial Watch has a pending request for a deposition of Finney in separate litigation concerning Clinton emails and the Benghazi terrorist attack. Electronic copy of daily files, which are word versions of public documents and non-record speeches or press statements, photos from the website, a non-record copy of the schedule, a non-record copy of the call log, press clips, and agenda of daily activities. 16 boxes personal schedules 1993 through 2008 were made secret. 29 boxes of miscellaneous public schedules during her tenure as FLOTUS and senator prior to the secretary's tenure at the State Department. 1 box of personal reimbursable receipts, 1 box of personal photos, and 1 box of personal schedules. So these were all made secret from the public, and we are going to continue to get them out thanks to judicialwatch.org. Those guys are real watchdogs for the American people, and we really need to thank them for getting this information out to us. Now we got a breaking article here today on IntelliHub. This is from, or actually, I believe this was yesterday. Yeah, this is yesterday evening. At IntelliHub.com, Alt-Left plans to roll out nationwide rapid response if FBI's Mueller is fired from Trump-Russia investigation. Goes on to say, snowflakes to assemble nationwide if Robert Mueller is fired from Trump-Russia investigations. The alt-left group MoveOn.org, run by George Soros, is planning to roll out massive nationwide rapid response rallies that will begin hours after news breaks of Mueller firing, according to a new event post on the group's official website, which, by the way, President Trump has the absolute legal ability to fire Robert Mueller any time he wants. According to the Post, Donald Trump is publicly considering firing Special Counsel Robert Mueller, which the group feels is just an effort to conceal illicit activities with the Russians, which they have never produced any proof ever at all in almost a year of investigating, in 7-8 months of investigating. No proof, no connection to the Russians. The only connection to the Russians they've found out is Uranium One, Robert Mueller, Hillary Clinton, the Podestas. They all have connections to the Russians, but Donald Trump doesn't have any. It's so weird. Which the group feels is just an effort to conceal illicit activities with the Russians, despite the fact that both Hillary Clinton and former director of the FBI, Robert Mueller, were actually involved in the embezzlement of U.S. uranium, as reported by IntelliHub in the bombshell piece titled, "Hillary Clinton requested FBI Director Mueller to deliver highly enriched uranium to the Russians in 2009 in secret Plainside tarmac meeting." Yes, yeah, folks, the DNC, Hillary Clinton, and Robert Mueller are the ones with the collusion. It is not a joke. This This is not The Onion. This is the actual truth, and you are being manipulated and you are being lied to. You need to do your own research. You need to think for yourself and stop listening to the fake news. Hillary Clinton requested FBI Director Robert Mueller to deliver highly enriched uranium to the Russians in 2009 in secret tarmac meeting, plainside, on the tarmac. Robert Mueller handed the Russians highly enriched uranium from Oregon, that was stolen, illegally colluded with the Russians, giving them uranium on the tarmac. Hillary Clinton requested Robert Mueller do that himself. There's your collusion, folks. There's the collusion. There's the collusion you were all looking for. Russian collusion. Hillary and Mueller. Hello. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's so ridiculous that people still think that Donald Trump is colluding with Russia while Hillary is doing it right in front of your face. Just wake up, people. Wake the hell up, please. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying how many times I have to cover this. Let's jump to this next article right here. Exodus. Jews flee Paris suburbs over rising tide of anti-Semitism. French Jewish families are being forced out of their homes in Paris suburbs as Europe continues to be convulsed by levels of anti-Semitism not seen since the Second World War. But don't worry, folks. It's a religion of peace. Their Islam in France, so don't worry about it. The Jews are just gonna all get out because anti-Semitism is good. The Islamists are even better. Don't even worry, okay? Radical Islam is not pushing Jews out of France, okay? Yeah, so that's the headline. Exodus. Jews flee Paris suburbs over rising tide of anti-Semitism. And it might have to do with radical Islam, you know? I don't know, maybe not. Who knows? Weird. Anyhow, let's move to this next article from Infowars.com. Soros-funded women's group hosts Confront White Womanhood panel. Oh yeah, because being white is a problem. Just like the post that I did on Instagram yesterday, it's okay to be white, it's okay to be black. And if you have a problem with one of those statements, you are the problem. Not me, folks, because I love everyone and all lives matter. It's not that hard to just admit all lives matter. And if you can't say that, then you are the racist. Don't ever call me a racist. It is absolutely insulting and ridiculous, and I will never stand for that. But this is Confront White Womanhood. Thanks, George Soros. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, Confront White Womanhood. Wow. That's one of the most racist things I have ever heard. So sickening. It's okay to be racist against white people, but if you're racist against brown, orange, pink, yellow, black people, nope, then you're a racist. You're a racist. No, shut up. I'm not racist. Anybody who disagrees with the statement, it's okay to be white, it's okay to be black, it's okay to be orange, it's okay to be pink, it's okay to be yellow, it's okay to be green, it's okay to be brown, it's okay to be rainbow, it's okay. If you don't agree with any of those statements, you are the problem, not me. Now let's go to thehill.com. SNL cast member shows off Clinton tattoo. You guys gotta see this tattoo. Oh my gosh. Let's do a display capture so you can see how pathetic SNL is and their loser people who are getting tattoos of Hillary Clinton. Look at that. Wow. It's also a horrible tattoo, not to mention. Oh my gosh. Hillary Clinton's leaving a permanent mark on Pete Davidson. The Saturday Night Live cast member just debuted a new tattoo of the 2016 presidential Democratic nominee. Oh yeah, wow. That's what I call a sore loser. 24-year-old retarded comedian unveiled what he called his Christmas gift to ex-White House hopeful on Friday. Sharing an image with this more than 450,000 Instagram followers. Wanted to get at Hillary Clinton a Christmas gift, so I got a tattoo of my hero. Oh my gosh, you know your hero's a criminal and she's gonna go to prison, right? Oh, I love it. That's mental illness right there. Facebook just admitted that using Facebook can be bad for you. Oh, really? This is from CNBC.com. Facebook said Friday that there are certain use cases of the social network that can be bad for your health. It also found that some use cases can be positive, specifically social interaction and thumbs up and likes. Weird, yeah. Oh, those gives me a little dopamine. Yeah, I got a like. I didn't. Yeah, that's what Facebook does, folks. It's not a shocker, but now Facebook is admitting it, and that is very, very telling, because we all knew that. We all knew it, or at least I did. So wake up, stop being obsessed with social media, folks. Get out there and live your lives, okay? Let's go to this second to last article here on Radio Bravery Live, youtube.com/RadioBravery. This is from Bloomberg.com. Austria shifts right as Kurz forges government with nationalists. Once again, just like I covered yesterday, I can't, who was it? Yesterday, Finland. Finland presidential hopeful is now a nationalist, and now we have Austria presidential hopeful, a nationalist as well. So we have nationalism just sparking up all around the world. It's very beautiful to see people standing up for their own country and their own people. It's great. I love it. So we'll continue to cover that. And then last article I'm going to cover here on Radio Bravery Live is Sweden raises retirement age to cope with immigration. Wow. There is a downside to mass immigration of refugees that you can't take in when you can't even take care of your own country. Cuckold country, pension funds drained to pay for immigrant welfare. The retirement age for Sweden's pension funds will eventually rise to 69 due to the Muslim immigration boom in the country. In short, the country is spending so much money on migrant welfare that it can no longer properly fund the pensions of native retirees. Swedish media, which typically downplays immigration pitfalls, actually admitted the rise of the retirement age would result in a major deterioration of the quality of life for Swedes. Yeah, so they're killing themselves to save the migrants. That's where we are. Sweden's need for welfare increases faster than our revenues. Then the Minister of Finance, Magdalena Andersson, raises the height of retirement age. Looking at those who start working at 30, there should be opportunities to work longer than 65. Goes on to say... Sweden is now officially a cuckolded country. Not only are military-age migrants raping Swedish girls with impunity, the country's rape rates is second only to Africa in the world because of all the religion of peace. But now Swedes are expected to work until nearly 70 just to pay for freeloading migrants. So you can catch that article on Infowars.com by Kit Daniels. Yeah, I've got to jump out of here, so I might do a special report later today. We'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for joining me on this short little 30-minute edition of Radio Bravery Live. Please subscribe today, youtube.com/RadioBravery, facebook.com/RadioBravery, and find me on Twitter and Instagram at Radio Bravery. And then there's the beta site, radiobravery.wixsite.com/news. Thank you so much. I'm your host, Justin Belshaw, and I will be back very, very soon with more news to cover. Now this Eva Cassidy bringing us out once again with It's Not the Presents Under My Tree. Merry Christmas. I love you. Stay positive out there. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for listening live. I'm Justin Belshaw. I love you.